Imagine spotting a perfectly seaworthy ship drifting silently across the Atlantic Ocean. Its sails still raised, its cargo untouched, but every single person on board had vanished. So what really happened to the crew of the Mary Celeste? Even after more than 150 years, no one knows the answer. It was November 1872 when the merchant ship Mary Celeste left New York, bound for Genoa, Italy. On board were Captain Benjamin Briggs, his wife Sarah, their 2-year-old daughter Sophia, and 7 experienced crew members. The weather at the start of the journey was calm, and everything suggested it would be an ordinary voyage. But it never reached its destination. Just over a month later, another ship, the Dei Gracia, spotted the Mary Celeste drifting aimlessly in the middle of the Atlantic Ocean. As the crew boarded the vessel, they expected to find injured sailors or perhaps victims of disease. Instead, they found no one. The ship was eerily silent. There was no evidence of piracy because nothing valuable had been stolen. So, where had everyone gone? The only obvious clue was that the ship's lifeboat was missing. Even stranger, the vessel itself was still capable of sailing. Why would an experienced captain abandon a ship that wasn't sinking? That single question has puzzled historians ever since. One theory suggests that Captain Briggs feared an explosion. Some of the alcohol barrels were found to be empty when the ship was discovered. Since industrial alcohol produces highly flammable vapors, it's possible that the crew heard a loud explosion or believed one was about to happen. Perhaps, fearing the ship would explode, they climbed into the lifeboat while remaining tied to the ship with a rope. But if the rope snapped during rough seas, they would have drifted away, helplessly watching the Mary Celeste sail beyond their reach. Another theory points to a violent storm or a massive rogue wave. Although the ship showed surprisingly little damage, perhaps a sudden wall of water convinced Captain Briggs that abandoning ship was the only chance of survival. Then there are the darker possibilities. Could pirates have boarded the vessel? Investigators largely dismissed this idea because the cargo and valuables were untouched. What about mutiny? Again, there was no evidence of violence, and the crew had good reputations. Of course, over the years, the mystery has attracted far more imaginative explanations, but none are supported by evidence. The truth is that every explanation leaves unanswered questions. If they abandoned ship, why leave behind food, clothing, and valuables? Those unanswered questions are what transformed the Mary Celeste from an ordinary merchant ship into one of history's greatest maritime mysteries. So what do you think happened aboard the Mary Celeste? Was it a tragic series of mistakes? An unexpected natural disaster? Or is there a missing piece of the story that history has simply never uncovered? Sometimes, the most haunting mysteries aren't the ones with impossible answers. They're the ones that leave us with just enough clues to keep searching forever.